It is another really gorgeous evening in my garden, and the temperature is about 26 degrees, which is really pleasant. But I just wanted to show you the garden as it currently is before I do a load of work over it this weekend, because I need to crack on with it. It's starting to get to the point where everything's so overgrown, and I've got lots of plants just out in pots that it's been too hot to take them out and plant them elsewhere. The temperature is going to be lower this week coming, and I've also had someone come and collect a load of slabs as well, which has cleared an area, and I've decided what I'm now doing with this part of the garden. I've finally made some decisions, so I will show you what I'm going to be doing. This is the patio as it currently is, obviously, with my daughter's lovely stuff everywhere. I've got lots of plants in pots that need to be put out and things like that. Bits and pieces that just need tidying up. I've also got plants that are in pots, such as this scabious and this plant over here, that will actually be going into the beds. They've just been in pots for the time being. Same with this lavender. This is still sat in its pot from the garden centre. It hasn't been planted out because it's just been far too hot. So the plan is to have all of those planted out. I've also had all of the slabs. There was a couple of slabs here. Had all of these slabs removed. The joy of Facebook Marketplace and just putting out free patio slabs. People come and collect them, which has just been great. So all of the slabs along here, and there was a big stack of them over where that little Christmas tree is. There's a big stack of 30 of them over there. They have all gone. They have all gone. Which means initially I was going to make another path along here, but I've changed my mind, because at the bottom of the garden there will be the shed will be moved back down there, and then there'll be a fence with a gate in it and another part of the fence. Now, because I don't know the size of the gate or the size of the fence, I don't know if this path will be sat correctly to meet up with the gate. So I'm going to scrap that idea entirely. What I'm going to do instead is remove all of these. I think these marigolds are absolutely gorgeous, but why they're in the lawn, I don't know. And the same with the strawberries. These are all going to be moved. I've got so many baby strawberry plants that I'm going to move. So baby strawberry plants are going to be moved, and they're going to be placed in this area here. I'm going to try and plant some in this kind of crevice in the patio. And then over here, I've got a random square. All of these weeds here will be gone underneath the rows, and again over here I've got a random square. So I've got bare patch, patio slab, bare patch, patio slab, patio slab. So in these bare patches I'm going to plant them, because then they can't grow into my lawn. They'll grow into the bed maybe, but not into the lawn. So I'm going to move the strawberries. Hopefully the marigolds will come back, but then excuse me, the rest of it is all going to be lawn, because at the moment this is the only patch of lawn my daughter has to play on, and it's not particularly pleasant. So once the shed has moved back, I mean the shed is being absolutely taken over by trees at the moment. Once the shed has moved back, this whole patch will be lawn, and we'll have flower border that side and flower border that side. So this is the before and afters, well, the before the afters. And then this weekend I'm going to really crack on and tidy all of this up. I've also got a couple of pumpkin plants. Oh, I've fallen over. So I'm going to put these in the space in my vegetable patch that is not growing any lettuce like I'd hoped. I'm going to pop it in there, and I'm also going to pop a couple right at the very bottom of the bedding, I think, because I don't know what I'm going to do plant wise down there. So for the rest of the season it can have some pumpkins growing in it. I really don't mind. It's not an area that my daughter plays in, so we won't have to worry about her tripping over them or anything like that. So we'll have some pumpkins growing in the border for a little bit. But I mean, I think this is going to go. This plant here is attached to this one. That's all going to go as well, but it will be left bare for a while. So we can have some pumpkins in there for the time being. This evening I've done a very quick de-weed of this area. So you can see those two little Square's a bit better. And I've also got rid of some ground elder that's in there. More keeps popping up. I'm sure it's going to be a never-ending battle. Alright, it's first thing in the morning. I'm getting out here before the heat hits. It's already rather toasty on the back of my neck. I am just pulling up the strawberries from this patch here. I have, of course, found another paving slab that was hiding beneath the grass and the strawberries. So I need to dig that up as well. But I'm going to remove these, and I've saved some little baby ones here that I'm then going to plant in that area over there. So I'm going to dig this up first, and then I can go and sit in the shade and do that bit and cool off. All of the strawberries have been removed now. I've got a nice raspberry cane there. I still need to figure out what I'm doing with the marigolds, because I would like to keep some, but obviously, I mean, I've got a couple of little plants that are in the bed. Maybe they'll come back next year, but I don't want them to seed into what will be the lawn eventually. I've popped a few little strawberry plants in these cracks along here. They might not take, but if they do, it would just be nice to fill in these dents basically where the concrete's broken off. And I think having strawberries in there would be quite sweet. For some reason on this bed I've got a brick border that goes all the way along, but for some reason I don't have it along here. So I'm going to, of course, by finding random bricks in the garden, going to try and finish it and keep it in line with the raised bed, just to kind of neaten it off. I need to also see if there's any bricks hiding underneath that big shrub that's kind of crawling over the path, because I might finish off the edge that way, kind of so it's got a full border that finishes, and then have the compost bins and things like that down there. But my first aim here is just to try and pop in the bricks there without disturbing too many plants, because I have got a couple of plants that are right in the way. I've managed to find a brick that actually fits in that little gap there, but I had a couple of plant casualties, only annuals luckily, so pulled them out. But what I've now noticed as I'm going along is that the bricks kind of disappear down here and then reappear there, and then there's another patch disappeared. So I'm going to work my way along here, just kind of fixing it up. Some of them are just like really shallow, and others are really high. I just want to neaten it up a bit and tidy it up, and then we'll see where the bricks completely end and if I've got enough to finish off the ending or not. I have done all of this bit here and raised them all a bit further, and you can see there's a little bit of a curve up at the top, but I quite like it. I still have some other bricks left over, which I'm going to leave because I'm not sure if there are more bricks hiding under this jungle here, in which case I will carry it on. If there's not more bricks, then I might finish it along here, along opposite that post, just to give it a nice neat edge. This big shrub here, when I first moved in, was just a spindly little brown twig thing, and I wasn't sure whether it had flowers on it or what it was, but it doesn't. It's just leaves, and it's taking over the place, so I'm going to remove the whole thing to try and open up this area more. I've managed to get this big shrubby thing out. I mean, that is the pile of it there, and this is the root, and I broke a fork in the process of it. There's a few roots still in there. I need to try and dig out a bit more, but it's out, and I found a couple more bricks, so I don't necessarily think I can get it all the way down here and along. I don't think there's enough bricks for that, but I might be able to get down past this rose and up, but at least that's really opened up this area. I have finished. I managed to get it just past this lovely rose with some of the smaller broken bricks all along here, which looks great, and my daughter absolutely loves balancing on things at the moment, so this is going to be good fun for her. Now I'm going to pop a couple of pumpkins down here, just because I'm not going to be able to fill up this bit of garden with plants this side of Christmas, I doubt. So pumpkins can go in here without any bother, which will be great, and they can just trail and do their thing. And then I've got the other plants up on the patio that will need bedding up, that I'll pop in here as well. Got one little pumpkin in there, and the other one I've decided to put into a potato bag, which have just been sat there with compost, and this one's got some not very well looking potatoes that just sprouted. But that might do okay in there, and it means I can move it if I need to, which is the plus side. It's also now time to get my absolute bargain clematis in here. I'm going to pop it here at the back so it can go up this fence. Hopefully. I also need to remove this hanging basket that's been here since I moved in with just a dead crispy sunflower in it. And it survived all the winds and rains of earlier in the year. I do need to take that down. But the clematis is going to go in first, just there. It's the end of day one. It's finally cooled down enough to come back outside. And I'm just doing the watering. I have popped a couple of plants in here. I've got this thrift. And then this Nepeta as well. This will hopefully spread out quite a bit as it grows. I need to get a couple more plants that are going to be taller to go towards the back. I think some hollyhocks would look really pretty in there as well. And I've also got a scabious in a pot up at the top that I will bring down here. I've left the marigolds for the moment. They'll be really easy to pull out, but my daughter really enjoys these at the moment, and she's always pulling off the heads and giving them to me, so I'm going to leave them for the moment, and then maybe tomorrow or in the week I will pull all of them up as well, and then I'll see what I'm working with lawn-wise. I had ordered some plants from a company called Hayloft. They had a really, really good deal on at the time. If I can still find that deal, I will link it below, but it may be over now. But I managed to get 60 little young plants for £36, I think it was, because there was a 50% off discount code. And it's 10 different types of plants, and I got 6 of each. And it's a mixture. It's called the Everlasting Perennial collection, I believe. And it's a mixture of foxgloves, delphiniums, lupins, all of which are going in the front garden. And then they had some verbascum, some scabious, some thrift ones, and a couple of others. I can't think off the top of my head what they were. Which are going to go in the back garden along that border that I have just finished emptying. And they've arrived, and it's quite late in the evening, so I'm going to now quickly get all of the ones for the front garden in, give them good water whilst my dinner is cooking. I'm also going to get a plant that's been sat in the back garden waiting to go in the hole where the peony was, and put that in there. And then try and get some of the rest of them into the back garden this evening as well. Give it all a good water so it's got time to soak overnight. Ready for tomorrow. Because I don't think they're going to survive much longer in these tiny little plug pots that I've got. They're already feeling a bit dry because they have been sat in a courier van all day. But I'll show you the little packs they came in. These are the little packs they came in, so you can see that they are young plants. But I think managing to get 60 of them for less than £40 I think is quite good, because you would not get them that cheap in a garden centre. So I'm just waiting on, only one box has arrived in this one here, so I've just contacted customer service to find out what's happened to the other box, but I'm going to plant these ones up tonight just to get them done. And now I'm going to plant the rest of them along here in this section, so you've got plenty of room for lots of new plants to go. I'm still umming and ahhing whether I'm removing this or not, but I'll leave that thought for another week. There's plenty of gaps up here as well to fill out, and when the next batch arrives as well, I'm going to save a few of them to put into some pots just in case anything over winter dies. I've then got something in a pot that I can replace it with, hopefully. I've popped in all the little plants. I've spaced them out because I've still got a whole other 30 plants to come that will be put in different areas. I've put some in the other border as well across the other side. There are a couple of gaps. And would you believe it, I've also just realised I've got more bricks lurking down here. Ooh, down the side of that water butt. So that's for another day, but I'm going to see if I can actually extend the end a little bit further up, which would be nice. But that is for another day. Another task for this week as well is, I don't know how easy you can see it on this screen, but you can see I've got a pear tree here. Then directly behind it, I don't know why someone would plant two trees so close together, I have a goat willow. And it is the goat willow that is now making it difficult to even get into the shed. So I'm going to slowly be hacking at this and eventually it will be removed. I think it's going to be too deep for me to dig out, so I might just have to make it level. But I can't have two trees in the middle of the lawn this close together, and this one isn't bearing any fruit, so this one's got to go. You can see now I've taken that tree out. There's a lot more space behind it, and I think that's actually going to help the apple tree a bit more because it is a little bit lopsided with its growing, where it had to fight against another tree. But you can also see that I have little bug houses and things like that on the shed that were all hidden before. I still need to take the stump out properly, but it's definitely opened it up a lot more, which is great. I have also just picked my first tomatoes from my tomato plants in the vegetable patch, so it hasn't been a complete failure, and growing them outside of a greenhouse was absolutely fine, which is wonderful. So here's some more tomatoes over the rest of the summer.